So hello and welcome to Conversations with Esther tonight, 5th of November. We have our guests in the room. So I'll request that we just pray as we kick off. The rest will catch up with us. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you as we begin. We pray that you'll be with us. In Jesus' name, amen. And so allow me to just share this. For those that possibly are joining us for the very first time, maybe just an intro on Conversations with Esther. We begin by checking in on you and asking you, how are you doing today? We are wellness champions, and we believe that checking in on people is important, whether it's in the workplace or at home. It's important that you check in on your loved ones. How are you doing? Are you in the green zone? Would you say I'm managing well, I'm calm, I'm focused, I'm engaged, and I'm balanced? And we say to you, keep up that routine. Are you in the yellow zone? Are you struggling a bit, tired, distracted, stressed a bit? Take a moment to reset. Blue zone, I'm not coping, I'm overwhelmed, I'm sad, persistent, stressed. It's time to reach out, explore support options. Are you in the red zone? Crisis or acute distress, panic, breakdown, intense sadness, please seek professional help now. Let's go to the chat. Where are you? Are you in the green, yellow, blue, or red? Where are you? Just type that in the chat. Where are you? Are you in the red, in the green, yellow, blue, or red? So Conversations with Esther is an impact-driven professional platform that informs, educates, and rebuilds mindsets on matters of work, organizational culture, and holistic wellness. We ignite ethical and authentic leadership, promoting best practice within industries. Conversations with Esther equips the workplace with relevant legal, human resource, legal, human resource, and holistic wellness skills through training, motivational talks, end-to-end HR consultancy support, and mentorship programs. We are guided by our three values: integrity, excellence, and impact. And we envision a workplace transformed by professional conversations, respectable relationships, and intentional leadership. So this is what we ride on. And next month on the 5th, we have a wellness dinner. We are big on wellness because your wellness matters. Your wellness is important to us, and it should be important to you. So we ask you, which pillar do you think needs your attention in this last part of the year? Is it your physical wellness? How are you doing with your exercise, with your diet? How are you doing with your mental health? Do you need help? Where are you? Are you in the yellow, blue, red? Where are you? How are you doing in your financial wellness? Are you telling your money where to go, or are you wondering where it went? What are you doing? Are you investing? How is your social wellness? How is your spiritual wellness, environmental wellness, and intellectual wellness? Our calendar is complete. We have done the activities of the year. The only one that's pending is the last one, which is a dinner and awards for wellness champions. Now, please note that it will not be on 29th of November. It will be on the 5th of December. So we have a dinner and wellness event on 5th of December at the Serena Hotel. We will send you more details on that. So this is our session tonight. Our guests are in the house. Ruben Kingori, the MD and founding partner. Agranda is Africa Group and the CEO and founding partner, Cephas Gathi. Now, our guests are experts in the field of digital platforms and improving on the work operations. And I feel this is a session that is needed not just by HR professionals, but every business person. Now, why every business should leverage digital platforms. Digital platforms transform traditional business models by offering innovative solutions and driving significant improvements in efficiency and cost effectiveness. Now, these digital tools help companies streamline workflows, innovate, and improve customer engagements while building a digital culture that quickly adapts to shifting market trends. So tonight we unpack the winning strategies for leveraging digital platforms. Allow me to introduce our speakers this evening. I have the profiles that I'm pulling out right now. We have very, very competent people in the room. Now, Cephas Gathi is a brand strategist and business growth advisor, passionate about helping individuals and companies connect with their ideal clients. Now, recognized twice among Kenya's top 40 under 40 men, he has built a reputation for blending strategy, creativity, and digital innovation to drive results. Through his ventures and training programs, Cephas equips entrepreneurs, professionals, and organizations with tools to scale, sell effectively, and thrive in the digital economy. Now, Ruben Kingori is an award-winning entrepreneur, creative marketer, and business growth strategist with over 20 years experience in sales, innovation, and creative marketing. As founding partner of Agrandize Africa Group, he drives African business growth through mindset solutions, digital sales, automation, and creative marketing. Known as Africa's trade connector, Ruben has received the New Generation Icon Award 2024, the Top Excellence Award 2025, and a Tony Elumelu Foundation winner and alumnus. Now, Ruben, you and I are TOEs. We are Tony Elumelu alumnus, and that's what I loved about this. He is passionate about aggrandizing Africa by helping enterprises sell. Now, I met these two gentlemen in an event, and I listened to them, and the passion is real. The passion is real, and I discovered we have young people in this nation that will help businesses, will transform businesses and how we look at things. I will give the floor to Ruben and Cephas, and they will take us through this session. Karibuni sana.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you so much. That's a very interesting introduction. Thank you. My name is Ruben Kingori. As you've heard, the founding partner of Agrandize Africa. Actually, Esther, myself and Kefas, we are Tony Elumelu alumni. We met in Lagos, Nigeria, and came up with the idea, since we have similar synergies, came up with the idea to transform Africa, since it's a common vision, and that's where Agrandize was born. And so together, we are on a mission to make Africa grand using very interesting business growth solutions. Our main core products are two. The first one, we run a flagship product known as Agrandize Your Sales Digital Mastery Classes. So we basically train people how to leverage emerging technologies, modern platforms, how to make their businesses scale better, prospect better, connect with your clients better, have operational efficiency, be it all the way from AI, social media, all this. The second product, we are a creative marketing agency. So we practice what we preach. You'll find even as we train people how to do socials, we also do digital marketing for a number of companies. We do the whole 9 yards from marketing, whether it's activations, whether it's campaigns. And yeah, slowly by slowly, we want to transform Africa. And so for tonight's session, I'd like to introduce my business partner, Kefas. He'll take us through how to leverage various online platforms for us to grow better, to have operational efficiency, and to scale up. Thank you very much and enjoy.
Kefas, karibu sana.
Awesome, awesome. I'm so happy to be here. I hope you can hear me well. I hope that you have the energy and you have do you call it the morale? I'm at the psych to do this, eh? It's a very nice evening, cool evening here in Nairobi. And my name is Kefas Gabi, and I'm honored to be here with you today. And I look forward to us sharing together on a few things that we can do to build some nice brands online. So I will go straight. I hope you can see my screen. Yes?
Yes, yes.
You can see my screen now? Okay. So for the rest of the people, you're not saying yes, you're not commenting. So like I say, I would like us to be very interactive. I would like us to give me a reaction from your phone or from your desktop. Just react. You can do a high five. I can see there's a kengele there. Very good. Because I want us to be together in this journey of how people, especially in HR, can dominate online using AI tools. And today, you realize that we live in a world that is fully digital, whereby today, if you wanted to buy a suit, you wanted to buy, something from the house, or you even wanted to hire, you would go online to find this. And also, the people that you're hiring, most of them from millennials, Gen Zs, all these people are online. And so it is important, especially for HR leaders and people in HR, to number one, use digital platforms and digital tools to not only find good talent, to recruit good talent, to maintain good talent, but also to build their own personal brands that would actually shine across the industry. So we're moving from an era where HR was one of the most feared, departments in an organization to being one of the people-centric departments in an organization. And so, especially for HR, the digital space offers you very good opportunities to, number one, you can use AI strategies, not just to hire, to recruit, to maintain talent, but even to track performance, to do evaluations, to propose, when you're proposing for promotions or demotions. We are living in an age where this becomes so easy. And so today, I wanted us to look at how you can use the digital platform, and that is the AI platforms and the social media platforms, number one, to create effective content. So this is content that not only talks about the company, but builds a culture and also helps you in a recruitment drive. Then number two, we're going to look at how can you build authority. How can you establish yourself, and not just yourself, but also your organization as a trusted employer, that attracts top talent and also builds long-term trust, you know? Like you see in Kenya, we have a very competitive talent market, and then the new people who are coming into the job market, they actually Googling you, and I'm sure you've engaged with them where they are asking you questions, and they are actually very conversant with who you are. So how do you build authority online so that you can establish yourself as a top company that attracts talent? And also, how do you engage talent online? How do you turn visibility into real recruitment and retention results? So how do you attract people who fit your culture? How do you speak the right culture, the right messages online so that people connect with you and they're willing to work with you? So as we start, one of the things that I found out is that right now, 87% of Kenyan professionals, they are using social media as their primary source for job opportunities and employer information. So it's not just about the Facebook content that you're putting out there. It's not just about your website, what you talk about, how you engage your people, how you treat your people. People are using social media as their primary source for information about your company. People are looking at reviews. People are looking at how do you tweet. People are looking at the TikTok videos that you make with your employees. So how do you use the digital platforms that are there available to build the brand that you really want? Okay. And at the end of this, I'm going to share this presentation with you so that you can go through it slowly and get to understand the nitty-gritties. All right. So this class is going to share with you a few tools and strategies that will help to elevate your HR presence. Yeah. Of course, not from invisible. There are those who are invisible. There are those who are there. But how do you become influential? Then you're going to learn how you can leverage AI platforms to create content that educates, that attracts, and that engages people across the board. All right. So I think that's a good goal for us as we start. And one of the things that I'm always asked right now is that everyone knows that AI is there. Everyone knows that AI is present. Everyone knows that AI or artificial intelligence is the next big thing. But people are asking, so how do I apply this AI? One thing to note is that AI stands for artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence really, it's a very broad term when you're using it, but it talks about how do you make machines to learn, to behave, and to act as humans. Some of the basic AI or artificial intelligence models or agents that we have interacted with include things as simple as your Google Maps, you know, things as simple as right now we have AI on our phones. So if you are those who have iPhones, you've interacted with Siri, that you can talk to it and say, hey, call mom, and it will go to your phone contact books and it will call mom. Because artificial intelligence is teaching machines from phones to vehicles to machines to washing machines how to interact and think like humans. But one thing to note about artificial intelligence is that artificial intelligence relies heavily on how you talk to it. And this is what we call prompt engineering. This is what we call prompting. How do you talk to AI? Sorry. How do you talk to AI so that it can understand what you want and give you feedback? Today I was speaking with a certain gentleman and he told me something that stuck with me. He told me that in every organization, if the head is not a good person, then it trickles down all the way to the sweepers, to the cleaners, to the watchmen. So he told me something and he said, garbage in, garbage out. And I find it very relevant, especially when it comes to how we use AI and how we talk to it, because that is the basis of what we're going to look at today. So we have different AI models. So for example, we have what we call large language models. So these are models that have been trained on so much information that they are able to accurately, and sometimes not very accurately, give you feedback on what you want. So for example, we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini. So by show of hands, or is it show of reactions, how many of us here have ChatGPT? I'd like to see. Just press a reaction on your laptop. I want to see. I would love to see this. Can see Steve has, very nice. Farid. Christine, you've never used ChatGPT? Can see Brooke has used ChatGPT. Great. So, whenever you're interacting with these AI models, there's what we call prompt engineering. So, prompt engineering is how do you speak to ChatGPT so that it can give you good content, all right? So that it can give you good content that will stand out from the normal people. Right now, if you go online, you find a lot of content and you can tell this one is ChatGPT generated, this one is generated by AI. But how do you make your content to stand out? So number one, whenever you're interacting with AI, you should first and foremost give it context. So by context, I mean you should tell it who you are. So provide the AI with background of number one, who you are, your role, your organization, and your target market. So it's important to always tell ChatGPT. So for example, I'm Kefax Gavi. I'm the HR manager at Aggrandize Africa. And the post that I'm creating right now, I am targeting, let's say, Gen Zs who are discouraged about the job market. So you should always give it context. So context is who you are, your organization, and your target market. Secondly, whenever you're interacting with AI, you should always give it a role. So what does a role mean? You should tell AI what you want it to be. So for example, when I was creating this presentation, I told it, I want you to act as an international course designer. So you can tell it act as, for example, a senior HR strategist, specializing in digital employer branding and recruitment market in Kenya. So basically you give it a role so that it can think in that line. So for example, I can tell it act as a blogger with Tuko and think creatively and give me viral content. So it will look at how do bloggers write and how do they create good content. Then the third thing that you should do, you should give it instructions. So this is where you tell it what you want, because we are dealing with different platforms. So for example, we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and content ya Facebook is not the same as content ya TikTok. So it's important that you give it instructions of exactly what you want. You can say, I want to create an email for a boss, or I want to create a funny viral TikTok video. So you give it instructions. And then number four, it's very important for you to give it a style. So what do I mean by a style? Style is a very good differentiator of how you speak. Because the way that I speak to Esther is not the same way that I speak to my friend Ruben. It's not the same way that I speak to my daughter. So it's very important that you give it a style and a tone. So you can tell it to use a professional style. It can be a conversational style. It can be a Kenyan style. Or if your target market is in Mombasa, you can tell it to use a Mombasa style. So it's important to give it style so that it explains to the AI model how you want it to sound. And we're going to do a few examples, and you're going to see how this changes the way that you interact with AI. And then it's important for you to give it parameters. So these are the rules and the boundaries that you want. For example, if you're creating a Twitter post is not as long as a Facebook post, right? So it has character limits. So it's important that you give it those parameters of how much content do you want? Do you want to create a cover letter that is one page only? Or do you want to create a CV like the late Magoha that is 30 pages long? So it's important that you give it the parameters and the rules. And then finally, you can give it examples. So show it what good content looks like. So you can even copy a post created by someone and you're like, I like this post by this person, and then you use it as an example. All right? I hope you're together to that point. So I want to give you an example. I just want to take a small example and show you how physically how this works. All right? So let's say I go to ChatGPT, and there are so many different amazing platforms that you can use to create this content. So number one, you have the all-time favorite of everyone, which is ChatGPT. And it's amazing that it has 800 million daily users. So this is ChatGPT. And if you reach the end of ChatGPT, you can use Gemini by Google. So Gemini by Google is a very nice platform that is very up to date. And Gemini has a tool that we're going to look at that is called Nano Banana. It's a very interesting tool. We're going to look at it in a few minutes. And then you can use Perplexity. So Perplexity, I love perplexity.ai because Perplexity is very much up to date. It has very up to date content. It is connected to the internet. So it gives you very, very real data. And it's a very nice AI that they came up with their own browser called Comet. And so I would like you to just try these different tools. Try them, see which one you like more, and then which one fits more into your usage. Then another example of a very nice AI tool for content creation is called Cloudy. So cloudy.ai. I love personally, I love Cloudy because it gives you what we call tokens. It gives you more tokens than ChatGPT. That means your content will have more depth, it will have more words, more characters, it will be more creative. Not really, I don't want to say more creative. It will have more content compared to what ChatGPT will give you. So Cloudy is really nice. Then we have Copilot by Microsoft. And of course, from our very good Chinese friends, we have DeepSeek. So you can use these different platforms. You can use these different platforms to create your content. If you want to create social media posts, if you want to create emails, maybe you want to create end of month letterheads, not letterheads. What do you call them? These letters, newsletters, very good. Newsletters. If you want to create maybe a contract. So they help you very much in terms of creating that. And so, like we said, whenever you're creating content, you'll just go to ChatGPT, and we talked about the crisp framework. So we talked about the crisp framework. So, for example, I would like to create a content targeting Gen Zs. So we said the first C is context. So I'll say, I am Kefas, a HR manager at Agrandize Africa, and my target audience is Gen Zs looking for employment but disappointed, right? So I've given it the context. So number two, I give it a role. So role, I'll say act as
think Kefas dropped, but he should be joining. As he joins, let's also feel free to send our questions or what you would want him to clarify on the chat. So he will join back.
Hello.
Hi, now you're back. You're back.
My apologies. I think someone, I have very many children. One of them, I think, just switched off the Wi-Fi.
Sorry.
So where were we? We were doing the prompting, right?
Yes.
Great. So let me share my screen. Please let me know once you see it, that we can continue. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Thank you, Esther. So let's say, in terms of style, I'll say use a conversational style because I want to talk to this young Gen Zs that has Gen Z linguals. And then parameters, make it short, but let's say something like make it short but sweet. Then examples, I can say look at viral posts by someone that I really follow and I really love the way he does his content is called Alex Hormozi. So I've given it the context. I am Kefas, HR manager. Then I've given it my company. Then I've talked about my target audience, which is Gen Zs. And then I'll give it a role. I'll ask it to act as an experienced HR specialist who gives great motivational speeches. Then the instruction is where do you want this content to go? And then now I can tell it the style, which is use a conversational style. And then parameters, I just want it to be short but sweet. Then an example, I would like it to use how someone that I follow called Alex Hormozi does his content. Or I can say, create content like Esther Katiba. So when I click enter, so let's see the kind of content that it will create for us. So you see, real talk Gen Z fam, you're not lazy, you're just tired of being told experience required for a job that pays less than your Wi-Fi bills. So listen, the world won't hand you a seat at the table, so you build one. You show up, you learn fast, you make noise till someone can't ignore you anymore. So stop scrolling, start stacking skills, start showing up. No one's coming to save you, but you can shock everyone by staying consistent. So that's a post by Kefas, HR at Aggrandize Africa. So do you see the way it's short? It's very particular. It's very different from all the content that you will see around. And the one thing about AI that I like is something that we call iteration. How can you keep talking to it and changing the content until it fits what you want? So I can tell ChatGPT, make it more professional, targeting, let's say, millennials in Kenya. And it can then create for me new content that will be targeting millennials, right? Let's be honest, finding a job today feels like running a marathon with no finish line. So as HR practitioners, we can talk to ChatGPT as our friend. We can use AI models as our friends to help us create content that is relevant in the market today. How do we do that? So I can go to ChatGPT again, then I can give it a role and say, act as a professional social media strategist, right? And give me a good content plan to build my personal brand as a HR manager of Aggrandize Africa, but to be well sought after. So let's say I want to build authority in this field. So I'll tell ChatGPT to act as a professional social media strategist so that it can give me a good content plan to help me build my personal brand as a HR manager of Aggrandize Africa, and also to be well sought after to get speaking engagements, right? And so what ChatGPT will do is it's going to build for me a very nice brand alignment, a very nice, content plan that will help me. And so, for example, it says here's a complete 4-part personal brand content plan designed for you. So number one, it will give me a nice brand positioning statement, right? So this is what I use as my North Star. I help professional and organizations in Africa to transform workplace culture, talent engagement, and digital employability. So it gives me a very broad, a brand positioning statement. So this is what I use to tie in my content. Number two, we talk about content pillars. So what kind of content will I be creating so that I can stand out in my field? So there are 4 E's that we create content around. Number one, we create content to educate people. So you can talk about how to stay employable in a changing economy, the top 5 mistake managers make when hiring, what Gen Zs really want from employers, AI and HR, and how it's changing how we hire. So it gives you content that educates people. The number two, the second content pillar is empathizing, empathy. How do you build empathy? How do you show your human side in HR? So you talk about real challenges, talk about, for example, burnout, job rejection. I loved that when we started this meeting, the first thing that we discussed was how are you feeling today? That is so important. And then number two, share your experiences, mentor young professionals. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Ah, good. So you can build empathy. So you can talk about your experiences, you can help to mentor people. And then the third E is engaging. How do you get people to connect with your content? How do you engage with them? So this is mainly by using what we call a call to action. Remember, every single post that you do should always have a call to action. So what do you want people to do after they get that content? So always create content that engages with these people. And then lastly, elevate. So how does your leadership and thought capital help people? So you can post videos of your training sessions. You can share behind the scenes videos when you're in the office. You can celebrate milestones. You can even share mini quotes that you create from AI. All right. Then it tells you about your tone and the voice. And then the good thing is that it will also give you a 30-day content calendar, right? So, for example, you will have, or after you've come up with the different uh, content pillars, I can tell now ChatGPT to create content that converts non-followers to believers. So give me a 30-day amazing content. So if I tell ChatGPT to give me content for 30 days, so now it will look at the pillars that it has given me there, and it will create for me content that I can post each and every day. So for example, week one, so why should people listen to me? So it creates for me content that will help me to build my brand. Because remember, our goal has been to start from being invisible to becoming a brand, to becoming someone that people follow, they listen to, and they see me as a thought leader. So the first week, it is the hook. Why should people listen to me? So it will give you examples of what you can do. So for example, is a story and introduction, day one. Day two is a video. It will tell you to create a video. Day three, you create a carousel. A carousel is when you create 3, 4, 5 pictures that say something that lead people to learn something. All right. Then day 4, it gives you, you can create a quote post. So this is where you get a design, you create a quote about the jobs. Day 5, day 6, and you see it guides you on each and every single day for the next 1 month. How do you build content that will help you to stand out? One thing to note is AI, you should treat it as your friend. Okay? So, for example, what do I mean by that? If it says create a quote that talks about the best opportunities don't go to the best talkers, but to the most consistent. All right? So, if I copy this quote, now I can use a very amazing tool that is the Google Gemini, right? This is Google Gemini. I told you about Google Gemini. It has something amazing called Nano Banana. So it has something called Nano Banana. So if I go to Gemini, which is like ChatGPT, but this one is from Google, and then I'll go to Nano Banana, say create image, right? And then remember, like that example that I was taking, it has given me to create a quote. So I can tell it, create a picture that showcases this quote. So I'll copy the quote that I have been given to create content about. So the best opportunities don't go to the best talkers, but to the most consistent ones. So I'll tell it to create a picture that showcases this quote. Remember, we can give it a role again. So we can tell it act as a graphics designer and create a picture that showcases this quote. And so, for example, it's going to give us an amazing, amazing design that now we can post. Are we together? That now we can post. Do you see? We have an amazing poster here. The best opportunities don't go to the best talkers, but to the most consistent. Small steps, big rewards. So I can use this picture now for my social media, right? So what I do is whenever you're thinking about how do you create content that will help you to move, I'll go to ChatGPT and then I will use the Crisp E. We talked about the Crisp E framework, right? The Crisp E framework. I'll tell it who I am. Remember, talked about context, who I am. We talked about role. I'll tell it who I want ChatGPT to be or what I want Gemini to be. And then I'll give it instructions. So for example, I want to write a newsletter. I want to write an amazing motivational email. So you give it instructions and then you give it the style. So this is style and tone. I want it to be conversational. I want it to be sarcastic. I want it to be friendly. And then I can give it the parameters. So how long do I want this letterhead to be? This letter to be, this email to be, and then I can give it an example of maybe copy this content by this person. And then now, after I do that, I can tell it number 1, so to create a personal brand for me. And then I can ask it to give me nice content pillars. So what will I be talking about? And then I can ask it to give me a 1-month content plan. So it will give you posts that you can do for 1 month. And then now I can also ask it to design, posters to go with the content. So it will create for me posters. And then now my work will just be to copy this content. I put it on Facebook, I put it on Instagram, I put it on LinkedIn. And that way you are able to start and to grow your personal brand. So you can use it as your own personal brand strategist. You can use it as a social media strategist. You can use it as your assistant, and it will help you to grow and to grow very fast. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this session has been beneficial to you. And if you have any questions, please ask. And thank you so much for your time. I'm truly honored. So, Esther, I would like to open the floor to any questions, any feedback, and I would really appreciate.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Kefas. That's, I think whenever I listen to you, I'm just like, why am I struggling? When the solutions are just near me. I don't know who feels like me in this call. We need more of this. We need more of this. Anyone with a comment or question, you can raise your hand. Anyone who would want to ask Kefas any question? We are still yes, Wajuma. Proceed.
Aha, thank you so much, Esther. Thank you, Kefas. It was really enlightening, despite the fact that I joined quite late. Oh, maybe not, maybe a question, not a question, whichever you take it. You've talked about the Gemini and ChatGPT. At one point, you took the design from Gemini, and again, at another point, you mentioned about the content that can be created by ChatGPT. Which one would you recommend for the designs, Gemini or ChatGPT? And do we need to get the 5.0, the 4.0 ChatGPT, or we can still work with the other one, the 3.0, 2.0?
Kefas, you can take that. Kefas, are you there? Maybe I think he has a network issue. Kefas, yeah, I think he's dropped. Let's wait for him. Let's give him. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Any other person, maybe you can just raise your hand so that when he answers that, in the interest of time, we can just come back to you. Let me try reach out to him.
Hi, Esther.
Hi. Hi, Kefas. You're back?
So sorry. So, told you, yes, I'm so sorry. I have a very naughty child here, so she's going and then she's switching off the Wi-Fi. That's why I got lost. So please forgive me for that.
Okay, sorry, it's okay. You had the question, right, from Wajuma? Kefas? Oh, you
Yes,
did.
the
Okay.
last part is the one that I did not get. That
Uh-huh.
part of 5 points. The last part of five last part, but I got the previous question.
Maybe she's
I
she's
can clarify.
yes.
You see the way ChatGPT has the version, like version 3.0, 4. Something like that. Do we need to upgrade to that to be able to get the designs or something like that?
Kefas? See, like you're muted.
Okay, sorry for that. Sorry. Now I'm clear?
Yes, yes. Now you're
Okay.
back. Yeah.
My apologies for these small mistakes that are happening. Please forgive me. So for ChatGPT, if you're using the web version, it will keep you updated on the new models. So you don't need to upgrade or do anything. And number two, the first question was, how did I move from ChatGPT to Gemini, and which one would I propose to use? All right, so the two of them are really competing very well. So what I did is I used ChatGPT here. Hope you can see my screen. So I used ChatGPT to create a content plan, right? So I created a 30-day content plan. And so, for example, I just took an example of, let's say, Sunday. Let's say this is a post that should be on Sunday. Sunday talk. Peace is a skill even at work. Right? This. Right? And then I can say, for example, targeting boomers. Right? So I've gotten the idea of ChatGPT has given me an idea of what to post on Sunday, which is Sunday talk. Peace is a skill even at work. So I'll come to ChatGPT and tell it, create an emotional post about Sunday talk. Peace is a skill even at work, and my target audience is boomers. Then I can tell it, act as a viral content creator. And so ChatGPT will create for me a very nice post, which I want to go and put either on Facebook or LinkedIn, or I want to put it on Instagram. So Sunday talk, peace is a skill even at work. So we often think peace is something that just happens. No, no, no. But here's peace. It's built, it's a discipline. So after I have that content, right? So it has created for me the post. I'll just come to the same ChatGPT and tell it, so create an amazing poster to accompany that post for Facebook. And then I can say, act as a professional graphics designer. Right? So I have the post ready. So now I want ChatGPT to create for me a poster that would accompany that post, right? Uh-huh. So now ChatGPT will create for me that poster. And then to put what you have asked into a test, I take this post, which have been given by
Is it my
ChatGPT
network or
here,
Kefas?
I can take this post, right? And then I can go to Google Gemini, okay? I can go to Google Gemini and tell it, create a post. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I think you're breaking, but now you're back.
I'm sorry, I was trying to use the phone internet because I was afraid that maybe the home internet might go off again. So I was saying, sorry for that. I said I went to ChatGPT. I told it to create this poster for Sunday, right? We are together up to that point, no?
Yes.
And then I asked ChatGPT to create an amazing poster to accompany that post for Facebook, right? And so it's designing that for me. But I decided, let me also see how Gemini will design this. So I copied the content, the post that I want to post. I copied it, and then I went to Gemini, and then I told it to create a poster that matches this post. And let's say my brand colors are purple and teal. All right. So you can even give it your brand colors. And then you can even upload your logo if you want it to be in that poster. And then I just click on enter. And then Gemini will create for me that poster that will go with that image. So I think when the internet went off, my ChatGPT hanged a bit. So I'll try and redo it again. And so this is the poster that we have from Gemini. So tumechukua ile post, Sunday Talk, peace is a skill even at work. So peace is built, it's a discipline, a quiet strength you carry, choosing response over reaction, grace over gossip, focus over frustration. It gives even my name and it builds this very nice picture. Can you see it?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yes, so it's helping you to do all these things that you used to need to pay people for design. Now you can do them, all of them, on ChatGPT. You can do them on Gemini. So this is the picture that ChatGPT has designed for us. So which one do you like more, Esther? Not Esther, Wajuma. Which one do you like more, from ChatGPT or from Gemini?
Actually, Gemini looked great
This is from Gemini.
with the colors.
This
Yeah,
is from Gemini. Yeah, you like it more, Sido?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying it's good
It
to
has more
learn.
color.
Yes, it's good to learn different AI models so that you're not just stuck with ChatGPT. Unadhani ChatGPT is the king, it does everything. So it's important to learn all these different platforms because they will give you variety and you'll be able to decide. ChatGPT is good for the content, Gemini is good for the designs. So you can use them collaboratively. Yes, Victor, you can please ask a question.
Thank you so much, Peppers. I'm really learning a lot and I'm enjoying your session.
I'm happy to hear that.
Maybe you can also guide. When
Mhm.
you open Google,
Yes.
you always see some posts. Oh, you're not using ChatGPT, blah blah blah. You should join a 30 exercise. I don't know what you would advise on those things because you
Uh-huh.
find there some some of our friends who are a bit older and
Yes.
even colleagues be
Yes.
intrigued by such they click them.
Yes.
How will it impact them? Then for academics,
Mm-hmm.
especially if someone is doing a research or a study,
Yes.
will the use of AI help? And
Uh-huh.
I know an institution like UON
Mhm.
they have now bought a software that is anti-AI, but we are
Anti-AI.
also appreciating, yes, but we are also appreciating that we are going the technology way,
Yes.
and we are embracing AI in most of the things. Is there a
Mhm.
time when they will start embracing AI in research and writing the proposal and the thesis? Maybe you can also say something on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. So on the last question, you've asked something very important. You remember, a few years ago when the internet was starting, universities, colleges, they were saying that you cannot do assignments copied from the internet. But right now, all the assignments, people are doing their research online because they don't have to go to the libraries and the rest. So I think at this very early stage, there's a lot of resistance when it comes to AI. But AI is here to stay, and they will actually come into terms, and I hope that they will accept. Of course, it brings the question of, you're just going to AI, you tell it to create for you a paper. So that means that a lot of people are not reading, people are not learning. So there's that challenge. But I think for most of the part, maybe within a short time, maybe they'll accept it. I don't know. But then also, what you can do is, right? And I'm not saying this so that you can be doing it whenever you create content, but what you do is you get content from ChatGPT, you get your content from Gemini, from Cloudy, and then you go to a paraphrasing tool, right? So a paraphrasing tool is one that gets the content the way it is, and then it changes it to human form. So for example, one tool that I would ask you to go and look into is called Quillbot, right? So Quillbot, if I come to this paraphrasing tool here by Quillbot, or this AI humanizer, where now I can take AI content and then I bring it to AI humanizer, right? And then once I paste that content there, it will change it from AI to look human. So for example, kama hiyo post yenye tulikuwa nayo, remember the post that we had created about Sunday Talk? I can copy that Sunday Talk content, right? And then I can just come to this AI humanizer. I just want to reduce the number of text here. Then I can click on humanize, and it will change that content into human form. Inaondoa hiyo mambo ya AI, right? So that's one way that you can go through that. The other question was all these people they're talking about learn AI in 27 days. If you're over 40 and you're not making money with AI, you're lagging behind. So I think the problem is that those platforms are international, and so their content might not be available, they might not be applicable here. So the reason why even Madam Esther invited us to this class is because we have a local class where we train people on how do you use AI for your particular business. And so maybe that's a discussion we can have with Madam Esther on how we can maybe create a program for people in HR on how they can use AI specifically for HR and their personal development. So that's something that we can look into. I hope I've answered your question.
Asante sana. Thank you. Yes.
Karibu boss. Any other question?
Allow me to ask another one now that my colleagues haven't asked. If I'm generating a poster
Mm.
and I want it to have my image on it, the one that you're sharing that has been generated Gemini. So
Yes.
if I upload my photo, is
Mm-hmm.
there a way that you can refine it? Because I started to see some photos have been refined, they look very nice. Then
Yes.
now they have created a poster with that also.
Very good. Very important. So, what we talked about in the beginning, prompt engineering. So I know we didn't have enough time to go deeper into that. So I could actually come and tell it, hi, create this photo while maintaining, I can tell it while maintaining 100% of my personal features, but showcase me graduating in the USA. So let's say, for example, that is what I want, right? Then I can upload my picture because you've asked, how do I make sure that I have a good picture? So then I can just go and upload my picture, right? Let me look for one of my pictures. Mhm. Let me look for just one of my pictures that I can upload. So let me take this. So I can tell ChatGPT, use hi, create this photo while maintaining 100% of my personal features so that it does not change my face, but showcase me graduating in the USA. So when I click on submit and I've uploaded my photo, so that's how I look, by the way. So when I've uploaded my photo, so Gemini will look at my photo and it will now adjust that photo and give me a graduation photo. And then I can tell it now use that photo. So do you see that picture? So it's me graduating in the USA. Now I can tell it to use this picture for a poster. All right. So it depends on what we call prompt engineering, how you talk to AI. Like we said, you give
Yes.
it context, you give it a role, tell it to act as a certified designer, you give it the instructions. I want you to create a poster, you give it the parameters, and you can even give it an example. So I can even share a photo of the design that I want it to look like, and it will design that for me. I hope I've answered that question.
Kefas,
Yes?
there's a way when you are creating Sunday talk,
Uh-huh.
there's how did you merge now that how are you able to navigate from now Gemini to
From
ChatGPT?
ChatGPT to
Were you just
Gemini.
copy paste? Yeah.
Yes. I was creating the content. I was creating the content from ChatGPT, right?
Mm,
So
yeah.
I would create the content from ChatGPT here because this is the one that I used. But you can even use Google Gemini. But I was creating content from ChatGPT, and then I will just copy, for example, this quote. Leadership is not about control, it's about culture. Then I will just copy and then I will go to Gemini, right? And then I will tell
Yeah.
Gemini, create a poster that showcases this. And then I will paste, okay?
Yeah.
Right? And then I can even tell it to use my picture as an example, but then I'll just tell it, create a poster that showcases this quote. Leadership is not about control, it's about culture. And Gemini will then do what? Design that poster for me. You see? Instantly. Okay?
No.
So
Yeah.
I will create the, like we said, you create the content pillars from ChatGPT, then you tell it to create for you a content for 1 month, and then kila siku unachukua 1 day's content, you tell it create for me a full post about this, it creates that post for you, then you copy that post, you take it to Gemini, and then you tell Gemini, now create for me a poster that will go with this post. And so you keep iterating, you keep doing that.
Oh, I get it. Thank you.
You get it, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Happy to hear that.
So Victor, You are okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think I just need to do a bit of practice and I will master. So I really appreciate having Cephas on board because at least I've learned a lot today.
That's good.
I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear that.
Good. Any other question? We don't want to lock anyone out as we close, but Kefas, that's amazing. I met Kefas and he did these demos. I was like, why am I struggling? And why am I paying so much? You know? Mm. So some of us who
Just
are
a
content
comment.
creators. Yeah. Okay then, Christine.
Mine is just a compliment. Gone through his classes. I'm in sales. I'm a financial advisor, and I've taken his course on how to aggregate sales. Yeah. So what I can say, it has really impacted on how I engage my customers, how I prospect, and it has quite a huge impact on me in the sense that I'm able to get sales from places that I didn't know how to navigate, like LinkedIn. And I actually believe if he create a good course, he create a course, you people should run with it. It will give you a competitive edge. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, who's this?
I'm Christine.
Hi,
Rita
Christine.
Mthika.
Christine from Thika. I'm happy to hear that. Wow, that is so encouraging. Thank you so much for that.
I see Lona's hand is up. Lona, you can unmute. Oh,
Okay, good evening.
good
Good
evening to
evening.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
we can hear you.
on ChatGPT,
Okay.
I'm a fan of using it, especially when to do some research or
Uh-huh.
when I want to update I'm trying to update my documents.
Uh-huh.
I usually use it,
Uh-huh.
but I don't log in. I stay logged out,
Uh-huh.
just just like that. Is that
Uh-huh.
okay, or I should log in my email for me to be familiar with the ChatGPT because I've been using it for a long time?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would advise you
Yeah, that
to
is it.
log in, sign up. You know why? Because when you do that,
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT gets to understand who you really are, what's your background, what do you like, how do you speak, how do you talk, what's your tone, what's your style, and then it also saves all your conversations. Like for example, if you can look at my screen here, this is, let me go to ChatGPT. If you look at my screen here, you see hapa on the left side, you can see chats. I have all these chats,
Yeah.
all the questions that I've ever asked it, all the questions that I've ever asked it. So it gets to really understand me, and it gets like, for example, I was Googling how I can go from sijui where to where. So it gets to understand who I am, what I like, what I do, and it is able to now give you better content, better context. It's able to share with you content that is specifically tuned to you. So I'd advise that you just log in. Why are you not logging in? You don't want it to keep your information?
You see, the reason
Mhm.
as to why I'm logging in, I remember in
Yeah.
school, this thing of plagiarism, it
Ah,
made some
uh-huh.
students to lose so much.
Uh-huh.
So I decided not to be using even the ChatGPT, the AI itself. I decided just to be doing my own research
Okay.
so that whatever I get
Yeah.
itanisaidia, but hiyo niliona ni kama unajiuza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand, but I think
So mimi huogopa.
okay.
Yeah.
Itakusaidia.
Okay. Okay, I'll log in.
Okay. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. I think also
Thank you.
good. Karibu, Lorna. First, I think that as Victor said, for the old ones, you almost don't want systems tapping into what you do. I think we need more education
Yes.
because we seem to be fearing systems that are supposed to help us. So I think wow, age 25, this far, unless there's a person that really must ask a question in a minute.
Yes.
But we need to plan a very good session where you can take us through this. Maybe a series or something. But I know there's something. Tell us more about your organization actually as we close Kefas. And I know there's a program that you're working on. Please tell us about that and tell the audience where they can find you as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So what we do is we have monthly classes. So these are virtual. They are every Wednesday. Actually, the reason why Ruben is not here is because he is in that class. So we have monthly classes where we train people on how to build powerful brands online. So we look at introduction to AI, like I talked about, that is AI prompt engineering. So how do you talk to AI so that it gives you the right content? And then the second class, we look at how then do you use social selling? How do you brand yourself online? How do you sell yourself online so that you can stand out? All right. And then we look at the third class on design. So this is how do you shoot content? How do you edit content? How do you design your own posters apart from ChatGPT? How do you design your own posters? How do you design, presentations, your company profile? And then on the last class, we look at 10xing your prospecting. How do you go from the normal, easy prospects that you get, maybe 10, 15 prospects a month to 1,500 and so on. So we do have monthly classes. We have a new class that is supposed to start next week. So I'll leave Madam Esther with our contacts. So if this is something that you will be interested in, we will so much love to have you on board. Na tutashukuru sana. Thank you
Kefas,
for the
please
opportunity.
share the contact on the chat.
Okay, so I share my contact.
Yes, and where they can find you kindly.
Okay, great. So my contacts are 0728-702-369. This is Kefas. So please talk to me. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp. So that's my contact. I also want to share Ruben's number. He's my business number. So in case you don't find me online, you can talk to Ruben. So Ruben's number is 0725 563 793, sorry. So that's Ruben. And please never hesitate. Please talk to us if you have a problem, if you have a question about the digital space, the AI space. We are always available. Asante sana.
Good. Thank you. So I hope everyone has picked the contact. I will be the last to leave so that if you need to go to the chat and pick the contact, that will be good. Thank you very much, Kefas and Ruben. We appreciate.
Thank you.
And we believe that the people in the call will look out for you. We need help. And especially some of us who are in HR and in business and branding, personal branding. So thank you very much, everyone.